Anita Ray and Patrick Agunza on the Hot Drive.
But it has a lot of money. It has a lot of money. Asima, ulianza na ngapi? Ai, nilianza na 270. He was like, huh?
Unga moja tu.
Yeah, he was like, unga then was 95, so nikabuy maka. I was like, chill. You started a business with 270 Kenyan shillings.
That was his
capital.
Yeah.
And he was like, I nikatengeneza chapati 20 as a yeah, kumbe it can bring back money.
And every chapati has a lot of income.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about starting small. How do you start small as a person?
I love the example you've given of Kamau because many of the successful businesses, these are people who appreciate to start small.
Yeah.
I will tell you what, many of the people who have, for example, I gave an example last week about the golden handshake of the 90s and the 2000s. Majority of the people were given money.
Yes, they were.
And they decided, now I have to start this poultry farm. They put a large-scale poultry farm with the entire money, but they didn't have the experience.
Yeah.
And they could not even manage. They didn't have management skills. So they failed. Some of them even started matatu businesses which never lasted for a year.
Yeah.
So I want to say specifically for the young people, it's very, very important to appreciate to start small. Why do you start small? Because you need to learn the ropes. There are several things you need to appreciate. Yeah. First of all, you need to appreciate your skills in terms of this business. You have also to appreciate where your market is, because you don't, for example, Kamau started with one packet of unga, because he didn't even know who will be his customer. But by and by, he has been able to prove that he has good service, he can be able to do good chapati. That is why you always refer to him when you are talking about chapati. For you, he is a reference. What does that mean? He has made himself a name. He has identified his customers. He has also had a market which has helped him. So equally when we are starting businesses, especially for young people, it's very important to appreciate that you need to start small so that you can be able to understand your market, you can be able to even run the skills, because there are several skills you need in business. You need to identify customer service, which many people don't really appreciate, because if you don't have excellent customer service, then people will not come to you. The other thing is that often than not, young people do not have that a lot of money, and if they are given money either by parents or own savings, it's retro money. So if you put this money into a business and then the business doesn't go the way you want, then it becomes a problem. Where do you get the money, if especially it was debt? So it's very, very important to appreciate to start small, because it's only by doing so. And a very good example, no one was born 20 years, 30 years. We were born when we were 2 kgs, 3 kgs.
Some even 1 point something.
Yes, and it's from there that we have been able to be who we are. So the same case with our businesses. The same case when you are planting a seed, you plant a seed, and that seed will germinate, not in a day. Again, it takes time. So the issue of process is a natural course for everything, including business.
I think we're going to first take that in. The issue of process is a natural course. We have to actually look at starting small. And when we come back, we're going to take a break and pay a few bills. When we come back, Pauline is going to be telling us the pointers of what to look into and what to consider if you want to start small in any kind of business. The financial advice you need and the financial mentorship you do need.
True. If
you have any questions, talk to us on Twitter. The hashtag is already South African. We have Pauline in studio, and we're talking about entrepreneurship. And before we even talk about what to consider when you want to start small, what kind of mentor advice or financial advice or financial mentorship do you need, and how can you access it?
I think one of the biggest challenges young people have had is the lack of mentorship.
Yes.
And particularly when they are deciding when to start a business. And last week we mentioned that a lot of our orientation is to get the white collar jobs. So by the time you are thinking of starting a business, there are very few young people who actually go out of their way and they say they want to start businesses.
That's true.
And most of those have very clear vision in what they want to do. And more often than not, this is derived from their aspirations, all their talents, which is very, very good, because for me that is already how do I put it? It's an asset for the business. If you are doing something that you love, and also you are doing something that you are inspired to do, so that is very good. But we also have another a group of people who would want to start, but they don't know where.
It's
So
true.
these are the people that, for instance, who need a lot of mentorship. First of all, to be taken through the process to appreciate what exactly are they best at. Because remember, we're saying that you don't just want to start a business. For example, my friend is doing a salon.
I want to get a salon.
Yes.
Nowadays, is my friend is using social media to make money. So all I have to do
Yes,
is
online business.
I'm gonna get naked for 3-4 pictures, get following, then get to the business. part of it.
Unfortunately, your body may not be as good as your friend. Decision. So it's very, very important to be. It's very, very important to understand what are you best at.
Hey, Pauline, that is below the best. We might not recover from that as a generation.
So it's very important to have mentorship, and more so to identify if I'm starting a business, I have to be very clear. And one of the things that I would want to emphasize in this particular stage is that if you get a mentor, it should be a mentor who has succeeded and who is passionate. Because unfortunately, we don't have many people who are willing to walk the journey with the young people. Professional help is very important. Again, it's not available. So it's important to walk into some place, like we have financial institutions around.
Yes, you do.
Just ask somebody how you can get this support, or identify someone who is doing something related to what you want to do, and then try to find out. Or link up with institutions like the Youth Talent and Enterprise Development Center, which just focus on mentoring young people into business.
But let's also be idealistic. What if you can't access all this? You know, there's someone right now who's listening to us. We have a lot of listeners all the way in Eldoret. We have Mogoti, Baringo, Kericho. What if they can access this and already they need the mentorship, they need the help?
I would start by first of all saying that there should always be someone who can tell you something more than you know. This person need not be a professional, but is someone who can share with you, who can help to discuss with you, and so that you can be able to come up with better critical ideas. Because when you just start something on your own, it may not be helpful. It could even be your parent, it could be a neighbor who you think has more knowledge, more exposure than you do, or passionate to help you. The other thing is financial assistance. And this is very critical, because I always say don't ever take a debt for financing business if you don't have a grounded plan and you don't have a clear cash flow on how to pay this money. And talking about financial access, we have very many institutions that can help young people.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, they don't, most of them do not have the patience to walk the journey with the young people. So that is where I would even encourage young people also to get into groups, because when they get into groups, they have time to discuss among themselves, bounce ideas, and be able to help each other. So there are many ways through which to approach this problem, just to avoid getting into business without having done a bit of your due diligence to help you appreciate what you want to do. And for example, you mentioned this guy, your favorite guy of Chapati. That is a mentor in himself. Every village has a business person.
Definitely.
Every village has a business person.
Ule mama wa duka ile kubwa kabisa ile super duka, we have the main mama soko, we have mama wa kufua pia is a business person. There's a farmer who always has serious. That's true.
True.
That is true.
So there are very many mentors around us. All what we need to do is to make good use of them and make sure that we are positive, because the other challenge is that you may be willing to mentor someone, but someone doesn't want to be mentored, or they believe they know. But I would want to encourage anybody who want to do business not to assume those small things. Again, sit down and have a plan. Think about what is it that you want to do. Have some clarity so that you don't make too many mistakes that other people have made.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like the conversation how it's going, because now people understand that you don't, because when you put it, you have to look for a mentor. Not everybody can do that. But now if someone understands that kama kuna superduka kwetu, I can ask him just innocently, hi, how long did it take for you to get to this place? Ule mama wa matunda hapo on the road when you're going home, ask them.
The farm around the place. Yeah.
We have so many kiosks in our lives, even opposite the road. Just ask her, how did you start?
True.
Is it making profit? It's quite about asking. It's more of asking.
Probing and probing.
I think we have a generation of people who don't ask, we Google.
Not everything that can be Googled.
It's true.
Not everything. Because you can't Google how to, for example, do chapati in a particular location. You can know how to do a chapati, but you don't know how to get customers in a particular location. That is why you need to ask the person around there who knows the market, the pricing in particular, how to deal with customers, etc. from within your environment.
I'm liking the discussion the way she said it. You can Google how to make chapati, but you can Google how to make chapati and sell them in a specific place. And that's what our generation might be missing. Mm-hmm. So we're continuing with the conversation. But before that, let me sell just a few things. Because we always talk about business. And today we have amazing business course. Because, and let me read it when you hear. Because the thing people always wait for, we have something called procrastination. Mm-hmm. We have people who always wake up and they're going to do something tomorrow. Mm-hmm. You know, tomorrow is never there. Tomorrow is a myth.
True.
So most of us wake up in the morning and you tell yourself, kesho nitamka 6 nitaanza, but tomorrow you're going to wake up at 10 and say tomorrow.
There's always a tomorrow.
There's always a tomorrow. That's why there's an advert outside most clubs that says free beer tomorrow.
Because it will never be.
It cannot be. It's a myth.
Yes.
It is always a myth. It will not be. So the only way to get started in anything in life is quit talking about it and just do it.
Is putting it on paper in particular.
Yes.
And making that first step. I want to start a business. What is my first step? Talk to someone. My first step, I identify where I will get financial services.
Yes.
What is my business? It's identifying where I will source the product. So there must be a first step. And the moment you make that very important step, that is when you start. But when you keep your business in your head, it will never become a reality.
It is very true. Thank you so much, Maureen Kabi, all the way in Tiles and Carpets on Mombasa Road. You're saying, mnafanya tutake kuanza biashara. Anza biashara with that 500, that 1,000 you have. Anza biashara. But let me take a short break. I'm going to be paying a few bills. I'm going to be talking to you about Jipange na Visa. So when we come back, I want us not to talk about, now you already have all those. Umekachini kuna this opportunity. You've asked around. You've decided I have this 500. What do you have to look at? Because you see Pauline also having the 500 today.
This one.
Ninunue unga. Ninunue mafuta. Ninunue. But I have to have a financial plan, and most people don't know that. They just think
business plan.
like this. Once I have it, sasa ni nini ngine mnataka mliniambia ninunue kuku 500. Si niko nazo. That's why people fail. Because I have it. So after I have it, what next?
Identifying and doing a bit of due diligence. The due diligence we talked about is like a baseline survey. Testing whether what you are thinking is profitable, has the potential.
Yes.
And then what you need to do is, once you have gathered all that, with the input from your mentor, and the mentor is saying it doesn't necessarily need to be a mentor in Nairobi. It can be the mentor within your village. That person whom you think you look up to, who look as a potential successful business person.
Yeah.
Put that into paper. Put a small plan, not very elaborate.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that people don't like hearing is the issue of business plan. It sounds like a master's document.
A complicated
thing. Here we are talking about understand what the product you have. Just put a simple sketch on what is it that you want to do. That is your product or service. Where do you see your customers coming? Because often when you are doing business, we say identify the social need you will be addressing within the area. Through the business. Because if you are addressing a social need and you are identifying this social need, your business will surely succeed.
Let me give them an example of a social need or a problem. If you go to somewhere today and you realize, which might seem like a minor business, but imagine you walk to a place and entire town you realize hawana mtu wa mahindi.
True.
That's a business.
That's a business.
And you are addressing a social need. If you go somewhere and realize they don't have a dry cleaner.
True.
You go somewhere and you realize hawana mtu wa kutengeneza baiskeli, hawana mtu wa kushona viatu. You have to identify the social need first.
I want to go back to the chapati guy. That chapati guy must have understood that within the environment where he's starting business, there's a need for food. There are people working within offices who may not be able to go to the very big hotels. And he knew that there's a need within the area. And that is why he has been moving on for 4 years. And I can tell you, I won't be surprised, 5-10 years, you might find him running a very big hotel. Because what he's doing, he's acquiring skills and knowledge and understanding that scope of hospitality. Food industry is a very, very popular and very successful business because it's always addressing a need. So identify the need. And this is what you need to put on paper. Say, I have understood in this area, there could even be, say, for example, a kinyosi. But the way they do it, they don't do it to the satisfaction of the community within that particular area or the potential customers. So once you understand that, then understand, for me to start this business, how much money are we talking about here? This is what we call the cash flows, the financial statements. Where am I going to get this money? Where is the source of money? Am I going to use my savings? Do I have savings? And do I have money from family or friends, or am I going to get a loan? All those have their own conditions. So once you understand that, then think about where your market will be, think about your expansion plan, and then put that in paper. And even if you walked into someone and you are telling someone, I want to start a business, because startups are very tricky, because many financial institutions are looking at someone who has been in business for a year, business for 6 months, business track record. So some of these things, that is why I love going back to this guy of the chapati, because the 270, he may just have used some simple savings or even borrowed someone. It's very easy to get such small money. But when you are asking me to give you now, for example, what he's doing today, the capital he's having in his business today, maybe a loan he can get in the bank. And maybe the bank will never have given him that money without the track record. Today he can be able to tell that I have been able to sell this number of chapatis in a day, how much do I need, how much in input in terms of raw materials I use for this particular business, and this has helped him to build a track record. So it's good to put those ideas, those plans on a paper and try to internalize them, so that by the time you are starting the business, you have a roadmap. Where do I think, what is the social need I'm addressing? But don't just go to do business just because the other person is doing. I mentioned that, for example, for farmers, you find everybody says, everybody plants tomatoes, and in the market, everybody is selling tomatoes. Then in another season, there's no tomatoes in the market. Those are the things that we like addressing when we're looking at how do I identify a business, the right business, a sustainable business, and a business that can grow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's quite. I always say every time we talk to you, you have to sit down and think a lot of things, because for some of our generation people, it's about having the money and expecting the money to actually work for itself, and that's a problem. Because money cannot work for itself. You have to work for the money, you have to push the money. And you always say money works with money, and money needs money to work.
You have to look for money first, for money to work for you.
It is, okay, you have to look for money first, for money
to work for
you. Go ahead
you.
and write that down somewhere. You have to look for money first.
Yes, so that money can work for you. Today, the chapati guy, he looked for 270.
Yes, he did.
Today, he can be able to use his money to employ people to do what he's doing, and to stop doing it, and you sit down and get his
watch
money.
It.
Yeah.
So you have to look for money first, Mickey.
For money to work for you.
That's a good way. Pauline, thank you so much. I always feel like when you come, it's a hub of wisdom, and how it always even makes us as ourselves to look back and think, are we doing the business right? This is not only for someone who's starting, even someone who's doing a business and maybe they never had a plan. This is a chance to go back and make a plan. It's never too late.
It's never too late.
That is
never too late.
As I told you, I hope we can have you more friendly, because we need this kind of ideas, because business is not an ending thing. It's gonna be.
We need to make very many young people to become business people, because we are looking for employers.
Amen. That's the problem. We're looking for employers. We're not looking to get employed.
We are not looking for employees.
All right. That's a good one. Anyway, asante sana. We are gonna be. I hope we're gonna be seeing you again next week. But have an amazing rest of the week.
Thank you.
It's already midweek.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Join the world of Viusasa Entertainment and enjoy the videos you love. SMS the word Viusasa to 40984. Viusasa, connecting you to the videos you love. Anita Ray and Patrick